Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. Today's video, it's time to enter the Pandora jungle once again, but we're going to do this battle between the Pandora Box DX and the Pandora Box DX. We have two versions of the official Pandora Box store. I am curious, what are the differences, if it comes to the power, if it comes to the functionalities. This is going to be the ultimate comparison. Don't forget to subscribe channel, hit the little bell, become one of the Wicked family and give this video a thumb up. So, let's go! But first, let's talk about the main board and what are we going to get with the specifications and the connection, because here we have quite some differences. Alright, so if it comes to, let's say, the way how you need connected are basically the same almost for every single Pandora Box Family Edition. Alright, so let's put them side by side, and what you can see already, there are some differences over here. Especially when you're looking at the settings button or the menu button and the ports. Here we're having a small difference. The DX is similar to the Pandora Box 5 if it comes to the connections, but as you can see with the Pandora Box 6 we're missing out one USB connection. A little bit of a bummer because we are still using a thumb drive for storing our file. So with the Pandora Box 6 you put it in here and we're having still two USB ports that basically cannot be used with controllers whatsoever, but you're getting the point. So that is the first difference. Alright, so let's take a close look inside, because as you can see already here we have quite some different things. For example, I already mentioned in the main review, they swapped out the cooling element. So these things sound most of the time like a freaking vacuum cleaner, and they are thinking, do you know what? Let's lose the cooling, we don't need it, or just use passive cooling. So that's a little bit strange that they made this choice. Another thing is that, as you can see over here, we're having an SD card function. This contains the firmware. If this thing gets loose, that happens sometimes, or get corrupted, the thing is pretty basically like a freaking brick. If you look at this, we still have the option for an SD slot, but there isn't in here because all the files of the DX are on a USB thumb drive. So that is quite interesting. But if you look at all the other things, like we're still having the EDA connection over here, we're having the input for the little speaker, and we're having of course the connection for turning it on and off. So basically the functionalities of the main board, if it comes to the PCB, are basically all the same. When you're losing the cooling elements, we're going to take a close look at the chip they are using, because on both boards we're having different chips with different specifications. When you're removing the cooling element of the Pandora Box 6, you can see this thing runs on an Allwinner H3. Having one chip over here, in total this makes a quad-core Cortex A7 that runs on 1 to 2 GHz, having a Mali 400 MP2 and has 2 GB of DDR3 memory. But let's take a close look at the Pandora DX. This thing runs on a ROC chip that is on 3128 CPU quad-core Cortex A7 MP that is running on 1.5 GHz and high performance but low power. CPU Mali 400 MP2 as in GPU, and this has also 2 GB of RAM DDR3. But if you take a close look at both main boards, as you can see, it's not a big step up. I was hoping with the DX that we're going to get an octa-core, we're going to get this powerful little mean machine. But at the end, it's a minor upgrade, and to be honest, that doesn't even tinkles my wicked mojo a little bit. So the Pandora Box 6 was something completely new back in the day. We could add games, for example. We had a new features with the search function, categorize system. It was quite interesting in my opinion. But sadly this mainboard is very flawed if it comes to the emulation due of screen tearing, and we're having still the sound issues that we're missing sound effects or games are running pretty choppy. But what is really a little bit of a disappointment was that with the settings we couldn't find any aspect ratio function because they didn't fix it, and we're only having the wide screen. And that is something that I think it's not a big of an issue, but some really prefer to have the 4:3 aspect ratio with the original games. We do have the burst mode, so with shoot 'em up you can just hold your button. So that is a very big positive thing with the Pandora Box 6 back in the day. But when you're looking at the features like adding games, it was not a very good option, because we could add PS1 games, but at the end when you're adding them, a lot of them were crashing due of some emulator/software issues. When you're looking at the Pandora DX main menu, you can see the layout is already a little bit differently than the previous model number 6. They still have the search function, they still have the categorize system. As you can see, we're having some new icons front of the title, so there are some minor different improvements. But what you can see with the Pandora DX, that we also have the recent button over here, so we can choose the game that we last played. So that is very convenient, and I really like this option. We're having 3 and 4 player mode in the categorized option now, and 3D games, so there are some minor improvements over here. With the settings, we had some, again, minor improvements and some changes. For example, we can shut down the boot demo movie. I'm very happy with it. If you don't like it, it will boot instantly in the menu and will skip the intro. So that is something that is very cool. Now we have the option to add controllers if you want to. So there's also a new version that is also more convenient if you want to play with 3 or 4 players. And we have now a new filter option, but the aspect ratio is still an issue. So with the Pandora DX, we have the new option that's called Scanline. I really like it, and for the people who really love the scan lines, it's more like a question, do you like this scanline version? I did notice it didn't apply with every single game I played, and you can also combine it with the pixel filter if you like to. What I really like about the Pandora DX, that they fixed the problem with the save function. And I'm talking about the same function if you want to use the virtual memory card, because it didn't work in the Pandora Box 6. What I find quite disappointing is that with the Pandora DX, they messed it up with Mortal Kombat and many other games. I did notice a lot of sound issues, like with the previous model. Mortal Kombat is not running on the full speed, and there is nothing you can do about it. But what I understand of the games that you see are basically locked in the system and you can't change anything. What I do like about the Pandora DX is that we have the option now for 8-bit and 16-bit games, so we can play our old school Sega Super NES games, and you can also add them to the Pandora box. That is something that I was waiting for, because with the competition other brands already had this feature for a very long time now. But that brings us to the next part of the video, that is, what can we do with a controller? With the Pandora Box 6 we had no option whatsoever to use a controller, we can only use the EDA connection or an arcade stick. But with the Pandora Box DX we can finally use a controller, the cheap PlayStation 2 knockoffs, but also I did manage to get an Xbox 360 controller working on the device. And maybe there are some other controllers also working on the DX, so that is a very big positive thing on the Pandora Box DX. Alright, so for the final conclusion, Pandora Box 6 and the Pandora DX. Let's talk about the emulation in general. I had some big issues with this Pandora Box 6, screen tearing, sound issues with games. It's just one big nightmare. And if you're a big fan of arcade and you want to have the real experience, Pandora Box 6 is not the way to go to. And I was hoping with the Pandora Box DX they will fix it, but nope, they didn't fix it. Alright, so the cooling didn't fix it. They basically give it a downgrade in my opinion, because passive, who wants a freaking passive cooling? Because we need to use the main board for a very long time. The other thing is, what is an upgrade, we can finally use the USB connection on this for a controller. So basically you can play with 4 players. Make another video about it, it's a long story. Then we having the other issue, that is the specifications. It's a minor upgrade compared with the Pandora Box 6. So this is what you're going to get. I hope you have a better idea. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, and give the video a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next one. No, I didn't steal that one from the Retro Ralph show. No.